You get the idea, though. Right? The basic concept was definitely revealed there. You get to just fill that box with any enemy you want, and once it's done, you set one half the field, just gunners, right? Gunners never kill each other. Then pick whatever you want. I have literally seen every enemy in this game fight every other enemy in this game to the death, to a limit to like 20 of each. Who wins? 50 versus 20. Who wins? 30 versus
This is
10.
funny,
Who
lol.
wins? I've done every iteration of every type of enemy, and honestly, the Blood Bank is broke, but one of my favorite places. I can't believe how fast it broke. I feel like the game has even less tolerance for me to play. But yeah, I loved this area. This I still think it's one of my favorites. How about you tell me, what do you want to fight what? And I can make it happen. And we can fight them to the death in the Blood Bank right now. I fought behemoths versus everything, and that's actually one of the worst. Because they just kind of like spam the shit out of that stomp move. It's not very fun. But the one rule about the blood bank is don't overfill it. If you fill up the blood bank too much, it spills out. The blood spills out onto the streets outside, and a monster will push its way out of the wall, and it'll just kill
Preston
everybody.
Garvey and Mama Murphy.
I wish. You went high stakes. I can't force AI to declassify each other as essential. I'd have to kill them myself, which I could. But I have watched. That's a different fighting arena I've actually built. That's Mama Murphy's tomb. Do you want to watch Mama Murphy fight a Deathclaw? It's pretty funny. It's very one-sided, but it's still pretty funny. I built something outside of Sanctuary Hills just for Mama Murphy, and if you just look at it, you can tell
Yes.
how angry I was at Mama Murphy. Ah, oh, yes, here we are, Jamaica Plains. Surprisingly enough, as crazy as I went with this fucking Winchester mansion I built,
She said she fought a death cog with the pipe pistol and one
she
bullet.
did say that, didn't she? She is a liar. I can prove it. But yeah, I think the Blood Bank being probably one of my top 3 favorites. Let me show you Somerville Place. That one actually usually let me teleport into it. Now, ideally, this game wouldn't let me have it, but you can see basically how the map is supposed to look. This line doesn't exist. This line doesn't exist. Erase those from your mind. And basically, it's a perfect map of how it's supposed to look. It all connects to each other. I don't know when this happened. I don't know why this happened. But nope. That that actually turned out pretty good. The only population of that town is robots. That's why the happiness is always at 50%, because robots are never happy nor angry. They're always neutral. Now, let's see. Somerville. Egray, Somerville. This place actually was an art project. It's the most intricate I ever got in this game. Even Sanctuary Hills. Sanctuary Hills, it's like I had a blueprint in my mind. It took time to build, but I always knew how it'd turn out. This place, I came here, I had nothing in mind. There was no people here, and I was like, what should I do with this place that's totally different than any of my other settlements? It is very different. And I'll admit it, I used too many glowing bottles. The game doesn't like to load this place, but it will, because there's not enough stuff to actually stop you. You're so far south, not enough stuff spawns that this actually is a very glitchy place.
You had some fun, bro.
Oh, I still have fun. I love this game. I mean, I still have been thinking about what I'm going to do with this new game. Even unmodded, I can still do a lot. Oh yeah, scorpions. That's the main theme of this place. Scorpion. There's a shitload of scorpions that live here because I was like, I love scorpions. I want there to just be an ocean of scorpions underneath this bed. So basically, you follow the path. The path leads you to the apartment complex in the sky. Look how fucking big it is. It is fucking enormous. It is the biggest thing I ever built in the sky. It is literally an apartment complex in the sky. Now, take aside that. Follow the path. Ignore the scorpions. Ignore the oddly well-dressed civilians.
Got work to do. Can't talk now.
Huh?
Easy.
Come over to the tree of dreams. Yeah, you get a little peek inside the tree. You're not supposed to get that. But basically, I thought this would be kind of cool if there was like a bed that formed a staircase that went up into the tree, and then I could do stuff in the tree. So I basically just like went ham and just made it a giant Christmas tree. And you can see how huge that fucking thing is from up there too. All these scorpions keep it all safe. Everyone is pretty darn happy considering they don't really have much to do. Everything's contained upstairs. I don't want them walking around out here with the ocean of scorpions. Let me just show you the idea. Place anywhere, by the way. If I was to suggest a single mod, if you only wanted like 5 mods, I'd say unofficial patch, place anywhere, chems actually do things, and then 1 safe house, your favorite one, and then 1 just to enhance enemies. Basically everyone gets one of those. Like, that's the idea. Like, everyone has basically their own pretty individual, and you can tell, like, just like an actual apartment contractor, I made bigger and smaller apartments, and they cost different amounts of money. Like, this is a medium. This is a small. And everyone has a bed assigned like this, and they come in here and hang out sometimes, but it goes around. Like, I just kept going. It's almost like a horror movie. Like, how does this keep spinning into itself until you get to the overseers? The windows kinda don't matter at this point, but I like them. That's just the idea behind this one. I wanted to just have people have like an apartment complex, like an actual apartment complex. Only, you know, there's no rent anymore because I'm just a generous overseer, and I just felt like building you all houses and giving you all clothes because I'm like a weird giant Santa. But yeah, I kind of like how the trees smush in through the walls a little bit too. I mean, right? It's the worst. I'm an overseer, you generate your own food, and you send me money. You can just live here. I don't give a shit. I built you a house.
But they will still hate you, Olu.
These guys are pretty generous. They're pretty nice. They actually really like what I've done. And it looks nice at night. That's my favorite. Yeah, I'll straight up hover some shit. I don't care. I hacked, hovered some stuff up in the sky.
You hear about that farm run by ghouls?
This is actually how I controlled my scorpion army. I used to just flip the switch and it would open 5 cages with giant scorpions in them. I stopped doing that. It was a little too destructive. But it really got me some scorpions really quick. Ooh, Nuka World's a disaster. Let's see if I can make the trip over to Sanctuary Hills. Because I really want to show you Sanctuary Hills. I'm really proud of it. But it is a bit of a thing. Like, you'll feel it when you walk into my cell. Because the game feels like you just stepped through solid pudding. Like all of a sudden you just slowed to a grinding halt before you got one step further. It's worth it though. And this town is like the coolest because it's nothing but the coolest characters in the game. It's nothing but like companions. And they all have individualized houses. Curtailed to their wants, needs, and personal flavor. Hey, what's up with you? You are so fussy. Hey, this worked. This worked great. Help defend Sanctuary Hills. Oh, dude. That's my favorite. That's like my favorite quest. You get to watch all your companions absolutely pop off on some poor, unsuspecting hillbillies. They're like, I heard there was jet in them hills. Let's go kill some people. And they show up, and there's a literal army of the well-armed, most trained soldiers in all of the Commonwealth. There's a super mutant. There's a literal heavy from the frickin' flying blimp. Oh. I have armed some people with Fat Man. I don't give a shit. They can have a Fat Man if they want. I'm that kind of overseer. If somebody asked me for a Fat Man, I'd give them to him.
The lag like 3 miles away, LOL.
You can kind of feel it, huh? Oh, I'm getting close, though. I'm going straight at it. Oh, yeah. Red Rocket is actually a big part of this problem. Something you don't know when you first start playing this game is Red Rocket and Sanctuary Hills are too close to each other and they share a fucking cell. So I had to seriously cut back on all of my building in Red Rocket. Look how minimalist it is. Because of Sanctuary Hills. Ooh, did you see that? Oh, my game just broke. I'm going to pause. Yeah, it's taking a second to, like, figure out how much is being loaded. I just walked through solid walls.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, take a second. This is just loading. It hasn't even loaded half. There's the trees. It loaded some of the trees, not all of them. There we go. There's the foliage. The foliage is loaded. Some of the lights are loading in. There are my power armors. I have a collection of power armors, some of which are illegal to use in certain states. They move too fast. They're technically a vehicle. You can kill people with them. Here's the banquet.
Another day
Yep.
of hard work. Never changes.
Oh, that guy cracks me up.
Good.
You know,
You need fixing.
I think her armor dress is pretty cool looking. Nice and shiny. This is like the weird church community I
All the soda
described.
you can drink.
Like, they're really obsessed with soda and Nuka World. And that's it. They're super into it. Weirdly into it. Like, imagine someone too into soda pop. That's this town. Now I'm going to attempt to show you Sanctuary Hills. Considering it took more than a minute to load the
They
foliage,
live like religions.
they needed it. It's real dark out here in the Commonwealth. I feel like they needed it. You can see from far away that my town doesn't look quite normal. Also, my bridge is fixed. Because I think that's bullshit that I